Chelsea have done it again. Another manager gone.
The last 48 hours has been the worst 48 hours since I joined the club.
Another reset, and another decision that on the surface looks chaotic. But what if this one actually makes sense? Because just days after Chelsea parted ways with Enzo Maresca, something strange happened. With no manager, Chelsea went toe-to-toe with Manchester City tactically, physically, and mentally. They didn't sit deep, they didn't panic, and they didn't look inferior. Instead, they dominated phases of the game. And watching that performance, it felt like Chelsea were already playing a brand of football that looked very familiar.
Second half was much better, as Graham said, much more on the front foot, trying to make things happen. But I tell you what, we just watched him for a minute. Callum McFarland made a big decision at half-time that changed the second half, or helped change it.
A system based on structure, youth, high pressing, building from the back, and fearless attacking football. That wasn't accidental. That looked like Liam Rosenior football. So today, we're breaking down who Liam Rosenior really is, how he wants Chelsea to play, and why his strategy and vision might finally take this club to the next level.
All I'm going to focus on at the moment is working as hard as I possibly can to help this team achieve the potential, the unlimited potential that it has. And if you concentrate and focus on your work, hopefully people will see that we're onto a good thing.
Liam Rosenior isn't a superstar name. He isn't a Champions League winning legend, and he isn't someone Chelsea fans were debating about a decade ago. He's a 41-year-old coach who has quietly been preparing for this moment his entire life.
I'm really looking forward to the game. And yeah, it's just one of those things that everybody has a different background. Everyone has a different way of getting to somewhere. And you respect everybody in the industry, because it's a difficult industry to be in. Especially as a coach, you're judged on every word, every action, every game. And if you can't deal with that pressure, then you shouldn't be in the job.
Born in London in 1984, football wasn't just something Rosenior played, it was something he lived. His father, Leroy Rosenior, was a professional player and coach.
And then I played obviously professional football in the 80s and the 90s, and Liam was around that for a big part. But for a young English man with a job like this is absolutely amazing.
And from a young age, Liam was surrounded by tactics, training sessions, and football conversations that most kids never experience. He made his senior debut at just 17 years old and went on to play nearly 400 league games, spending years in the Premier League with clubs like Fulham, Reading, Hull City, and Brighton. But even while he was playing, Rosenior was already thinking like a coach. He took notes obsessively, studied shapes and patterns, and constantly questioned why teams did what they did. His playing career was never the destination. It was the education.
Yeah, maybe I'm a bit different. I'm still young, and I'm saying I'm ready now to do a job somewhere. If that makes me a bit different, then so be it.
When Rosenior retired in 2018, there was no break and no waiting around. He went straight into coaching at Brighton, one of the smartest and best-run clubs in English football.
We were last season, if not the best team, one of the best teams in the league. So we know that the ingredients are there for us to do well this year. I think mentally is now the test for us. But
from there, he moved to Derby County as an assistant coach, working closely with Wayne Rooney. When Derby fell into chaos and Rooney stepped away, Rosenior was asked to take charge as interim manager.
Of going into Chelsea and doing a great job. Liam was so important for me. Firstly, when I went into Derby as manager, because I'd never coached. I was doing my badges at the time and I'd never coached, and Liam was incredible in his coaching ability. I was more of the manager and dealing with players and everything. So I learnt a lot from him. Young English managers don't really get that chance, and he's gone and he's worked and he's put the work in, and it'd be great to see him get that opportunity, because I think he'd be very good.
Without that experience with Wayne, I don't think I would be the manager that I am now. So I've got a lot to thank him for. Amazing connection. I didn't know Wayne that well. Obviously, I played against him
in our careers. Wayne came in as a player, and what a player. Even towards the end of his career, some of the things he was doing in training, just like, wow, he was a genius. And then we stepped in as a management team, and it's a really strange thing. The fact we didn't know each other. Within 2 weeks, we completely trusted each other. It was something that just happened really organically.
In one of the most overlooked spells in recent English football, he guided Derby through a brutal period and went unbeaten in 12 games. That was the moment people inside football realized this wasn't just a smart former player, this was a real coach who could lead under pressure. Soon after, Hull City brought him back, this time as head coach.
What I learned excites me. I learned we can be consistent. I learned that the players have really picked up the tactical information we've given them, the information, not just tactical and on the pitch, but the values that we now stand by. The players know what they're walking back into. They know how we're going to work, how we're going to operate. We're going to work really, really hard because you need to get fit. But at the same time, I want us to enjoy the way that we play, enjoy what we do every single day. And I'm really looking forward to getting back on Monday and then getting going.
When Rosenior arrived, Hull were sitting 21st in the championship. By the end of the season, they finished 7th, just one place outside the playoffs. He gave the team structure, confidence, and clarity, and once again the same pattern emerged. Wherever Rosenior went, performances improved. Then came the move that changed everything. In 2024, Rosenior left England to take over Strasbourg in League One, a club owned by Blue Co., the same ownership group as Chelsea. This wasn't random. This was Chelsea watching him up close. From day one, Rosenior was fearless. In his very first match, he named a starting 11 where every outfield player was under the age of 23. No safety picks, no reputations, just quality. Strasbourg played aggressive front-foot football, pressed high, built patiently from the back, and showed no fear against bigger teams.
The beautiful thing about working with a young group is they're fearless. They've had no negative experience. So they don't go, for example, to PSG away going, cool, I remember I came here 3 years ago, we got beat 5-0. That fearlessness, that energy, that desire, that growth mentality where they want to go on and achieve great things in their careers. These are all really, really positive things about having a young group, and you have to tap into that. You know, I show my players clips of Bayern Munich or Paris Saint-Germain, of Manchester City, Chelsea, because that's where they want to be. But it's not about young or old. You know, people talk now about young or old managers and modern coaching. It's not about modern coaching. Coaching and management is 90% people skills. It's 10% football.
They finished 7th in League One, earned European qualification, and Rosenior was rewarded with a contract extension until 2028. By that point, Chelsea didn't see him as a gamble. They saw him as ready. So what does Liam Rosenior actually believe in? First and foremost, control. His teams want the ball, and everything starts from the goalkeeper. Build-up is structured, calm, and deliberate. Secondly, Rosenior believes in structure with freedom. His players work relentlessly without the ball, but when they have it, they are trusted to express themselves. Third, intensity is non-negotiable. If you don't run, you don't play. Tactically, Rosenior often sets his teams up in a back three, usually a 3-4-3 or a 3-4-2-1.
So a lot of teams, what they'll do in this situation is always, if you play with a back three, your spaces are on the side of the pitch. So some teams may rotate their pocket player to that position, they come round and then he receives the ball. But what you lose is you lose your 5v4 in the top line. So instead, why I asked the goalkeeper to come up is what happens is if the goalkeeper comes to this position, then our centre-back comes to this position, and now our other centre-back will come higher. We can still keep our dominance on the top line. So then we switch play. Sometimes we switch play by going across to the goalkeeper to here, but that still causes a big overload because you have 1, 2, 3, 4 against 3 players on that side of the pitch. Your number 9 occupies 2 defenders. So always by using the goalkeeper is actually affecting your top line of the game.
Wingbacks provide width, midfielders rotate constantly, and the team always maintains its shape. Players know exactly where they're supposed to be, and that clarity is why young players thrive under him. Now this is where everything connects. Against Manchester City, Chelsea played with no manager, but tactically it already looked like a Rosenior team. Reece James and Enzo Fernandez rotated constantly in the first phase of build-up, confusing City's press. Chelsea were far more aggressive in the second half, winning the ball high up the pitch and transitioning quickly. Enzo Fernandez was everywhere, winning duels, connecting the middle third to the final third, and arriving late into the box. Reece James dominated physically and gave Chelsea balance.
Out. Reece James made that look easy, and it was...
Liam Delap acted as a focal point, holding up play and allowing runners to flood forward.
How incredible it's been over the years, and to be able to play here, it's going to be incredible.
Why do you think Chelsea was the right fit for you?
I just think the whole growth of the club over the last few years, the players, the manager, the trajectory they're on, I think it's going to be an incredible place for me to develop and continue playing good football and, hopefully achieve amazing things with this club.
Gusto and Nito provided width, and Chelsea committed numbers into attacking areas. A wing-back drives forward, multiple runners attack the box, and Enzo Fernandez arrives late to finish. That is exactly the kind of football Rosenior wants his teams to play.
Create the right culture, you create the right spirit, you have the right values. The reality at this football club, the talent levels that I've seen in the last 2 days of training, the ability of the players is world class. I've got a fantastic group to work with, which I'm very excited about. But winning teams are consistent when they have a good spirit, when they have a good energy, when they fight for each other, when they put pride in the shirt. And I think that's my job now. I think the previous coach Enzo's done a fantastic job with these players tactically. They're a very good team already. Now it's my job to try and take it to the next level, and me and my staff are going to work really hard with that. I've said to the players, focus on winning the next game. Focus on winning the next game and winning the next game and winning the next game. And that's how you go on a run. And with the talent that we have, and actually not just the talent, the level of professionalism of the group, the intensity at which they've trained the last 2 days, their engagement to something new, there's really, really positive signs here. And I never limit the ambitions of my group. We've got world-class players here. We've got players who have won World Cups. The lads won the Club World Cup a matter of months ago, and I watched that game, and they were absolutely magnificent against PSG. The potential for this club, for this group, is limitless, and I won't limit limitlessness. I want to be successful. I'm ambitious. People know that about me, but I always have to make sure we get from where we are to where we need to be, and that takes time. I'm not asking for too much time, but at the same time, you need to make sure you know where your process is headed.
Chelsea fans are right to be skeptical. This club has burned through managers and promises have been made before, but this time feels different.
If I'm one game in, some of our passages of play were beautiful to watch. I think everybody can say that. We've got magnificent players. My idea of football is not important. It's about winning games of football consistently. It's a good start. It's just a start, and we have to stay consistent now in a very, very hectic schedule.
Liam Rosenior isn't here to save Chelsea overnight. He's here to build something. A clear identity, a long-term vision, and a team that grows together.
Oh, that's absolutely superb. Chelsea seal their place in round 4. Yeah, they came on and scored his last 5-1 to Chelsea. Yes, he certainly.
For the first time in years, Chelsea aren't chasing the past. They're betting on the future. And if this works, this won't be remembered as another chaotic decision. It will be remembered as the moment Chelsea finally got it right.